Hey guys, Buffman Game Bet today, bringing you our video, and today we're talking about some new DMZ leaks. These are going to be coming to us from datamined information from Warzone Mobile, of all places. That alpha is taking place, and a lot of leaks have come out the past week and a half, I would say, for not only Warzone 2, DMZ, and multiplayer perk information, map images, operator images, everything. But today we're going to be focused on the DMZ information. I'll link the Twitter account down below who's providing all this information. That's Reality UK. He's providing all the DMZ information, all of the Warzone information, operator images, map images, everything. So I'll link him down below in the description. Go ahead and check him out because I can't show you any of the images or the code extracts here, but we're going to talk through them. Now, I'm also going to link down below the link to the episode of The Scope, where we have a clip up on the channel over there. Myself and Crash Games FPS do a podcast there once a week, and we have a bunch of clips that we put up on that channel. There's a really good video we put up of discussing this exact topic. However, some new information since then, but if you want more in-depth conversation back and forth from two guys who have also played Tarkov, and obviously myself and Crash being big Modern Warfare players, and myself being more of a realism player, really good conversation there and explaining back and forth our take on that. So go ahead and check that out. Jumping right into it. First off today, brand new, just 32 minutes ago from me recording this, DMZ logo was actually leaked by Reality UK. You can see this logo, and basically here, the premise of this video is that DMZ is a vanilla or an easier to entry version of Escape from Tarkov. And the logo here that was released today, data mined by Reality UK, although this is subject to change, all this is subject to change, but this logo is obviously in the game files. And it screams Escape from Tarkov to me, as well as everything we're going to talk about here in this video. But the logo itself, to paint a picture for you, again, you can look this up on his Twitter. The logo itself is kind of a, we'll say it's more of a badge, I guess, type look. So this could be kind of a challenge icon you get, or it could be the official logo, not sure. But regardless, you have kind of the blacked out city skyline, and then you have DMZ, the letters DMZ painted behind it, and you have a yellow soldier. So it looks actually very similar to the Escape from Tarkov logo in some ways as well. The Escape from Tarkov logo is actually very similar to this. This is just kind of a different type of logo with instead of Tarkov, it says DMZ. So very, very similar to the Escape from Tarkov logo, and that's going to kind of feed into everything else we're going to talk about here. The other leaks that were provided by Reality UK were a lot of different challenges that were pulled out of the game files from Warzone Mobile. Now, these challenges could also be part of Warzone 2. We're not sure what's going to be shared within Warzone 2 in DMZ, or if these are going to be exclusive to DMZ, but a lot of these are obviously screaming DMZ, and he said these are primarily DMZ challenges. So we're going to run through these, and we'll talk about why this sounds so similar to Escape from Tarkov. And if you've been following the channel, especially if you were keeping up with the Hazard Zone information last year, I know we had a lot of insiders and leakers saying it's the Escape from Tarkov mode, and that obviously ended up flopping big time when we set our expectations to the Tarkov level. However, in this case, I don't want to set my expectations too high, but when we look at the logo that was literally just released this morning as of recording this, and the challenge information that was released over the weekend, it sounds more and more like basically a copy-paste of Tarkov. Obviously not as in-depth as Tarkov. Nothing will ever match that, but this is basically an easier barrier of entry of Escape from Tarkov, which we'll talk about after we run through the challenges. So we'll run through all of these. I may or may not read all of these, but I'll give you the idea of kind of why this is so similar to the Tarkov-type extraction game mode. So first off, we have one challenge here, Transport Saboteur. And that says empty X amount of vehicles of gas. So you're going to be potentially taking gas out of vehicles. Potentially this is something you're going to be looting. Obviously there's going to be looting in this game mode. Alcatel is planning to transport weapons using civilian vehicles, drive nearby vehicles until their tanks are empty to sabotage Alcatel's plans, empty X vehicles of gas. So here you're going to be driving these vehicles around to make sure Alcatel can't get their hands on them and drive them. Another one is Alcatel Informant. This is going to allow you to hack X amount of UAV towers. Next up, Hunt and Seek. So complete X amount of hunt contracts. You can intercept enemy communications in order to find the location of hostile PMC operator. Now, PMC is obviously private military contractor, the same term from Escape from Tarkov. This could just be a placeholder, but again, it obviously is going to be seeing a lot of similarities here. Use the intel to eliminate enemy squads, complete X amount of hunt contracts. Next up is the Cleaner. Wipe X amount of squads. World Traveler. Travel to X amount of different POIs in one match. Agent Provocateur. Kill X amount of special forces. So special forces, this may indicate, again, AI, something like rogues or those boss-type AI elements that we see in Escape from Tarkov. As well as next up will be kill and confirm. So extract X operator dog tags. One big score. Extract X cash in one match. We are low on coin because of several consecutive botch operations by our fellow soldiers. We need you to lump sum, so you're going to extract with the cash. Eliminate competitors. Kill X amount of operators. Under the influence. Extract X amount of liquor bottles. Designated marksman, kill X amount of grunts at long range. Headhunter, kill X amount of grunts with headshots using pistols. Then we have armament acquisition, extract with X amount of different lethals and tacticals. Jaeger no more, complete X elimination contracts. Up close and personal, there's no description for that one. Obviously, it sounds like some sort of maybe you're meleeing people or something along those lines. Next, we have anti-air, so capture X amount of SAM sites. Then we have guard break, kill X amount of riot shield grunts. Target practice, kill X amount of operators with an assault rifle. Close combat, kill X amount of operators with an SMG. And then we have gunrunner, extract, and enemy grunt weapon. Okay, so you're going to basically grab a grunt's weapon. Now, a grunt could be, again, another form of AI. Same with the special forces. We don't really know, but that's kind of what it sounds like. Next up, we have a second string here, which sounds even more so along the lines. So we have Sharpshooter, kill X grunts in oil field using a sniper rifle. Stormshooter, extract a hailstorm. So is that alluding to dynamic weather, or is hailstorm in reference to some sort of object that you're going to be looting? Vehicle wrecker, destroy X amount of vehicles. Radioactive reward, kill a boss and extract their weapon case. So the description for this is we received intel that the chemist has acquired a weapon case containing valuable rare weapons. Find a hard drive and upload it in order to track him down. Acquire his weapon case by any means necessary. Then the next one we have excavation elimination. Kill X amount of operators in quarry. Wheelman, enter X different vehicles types in one match, and fully encumbered extract with a full backpack, which again sounds very reminiscent of Escape from Tarkov, because you're going to be, and actually it's telling us that there's going to be lootable backpacks. So similar to Black Ops 4's Blackout, where there was a backpack system, Escape from Tarkov has a backpack system. And if you're worried about the backpack system on consoles, basically, Blackout, I think, did a very good job of refining that system over the course of that game's life cycle. It was difficult at first on console. It would take a while to loot, but as Treyarch actually did a lot of good work on that, and you could get in a backpack, get exactly what you needed very, very quickly, and get out within, I would say, less than 5 seconds. So you weren't stuck in this loot cycle. Obviously, once you understood what you were doing in a backpack and what you needed to get, it was much easier. So don't worry about that. I think really you can be just as fast as PC when you know what you're doing after a little bit of practice, and especially that process was refined on consoles with Blackout. So that was definitely a test run for this. Next up, we have some additional things here. So we have search. Search the marked areas for radioactivity. Mass elimination, eliminate some hostiles. Scavenger is collect intel. Destroy supplies, just what it sounds like. Supply drop, collect the airdrop supplies. So that's pretty interesting. Again, we saw airdrops and things like that were part of Blackout back in the day. We see that in Tarkov these days as well. Extract, so that's extract safely. Search is search the marked areas for additional intel. Rescue hostage, transport hostage to the HLZ. That's interesting. So these are going to be part of, again, missions within the DMZ. Find and open the safe. Loot the stash. Cargo shipment is deliver the cargo to the HLZ. Secure intel, destroy SAM sites, elimination, secure radioactive materials, and deliver cargo. Then we have some other things here, less interesting DMZ strings that were found. I personally think they're actually very interesting. We have things here that are definitely very similar to Escape from Tarkov. One very interesting one here is DMZ NVGs for night vision goggles. So again, this probably, hopefully, dynamic type weather, night and day cycles, or maybe you'll just have, just like Tarkov, where you have night maps and day maps. I would like to see more dynamic, go in at dusk and then it goes to night, things like that. So night vision goggles would be awesome. We only saw that in the realism modes for Modern Warfare on those realism modes and those night maps. So you were stuck only on night maps, which I thought was a lot of fun, especially in the realism mode. So I would love to see this in DMZ. We have Intel hard drives, which again sounds kind of similar to like Hazard Zone, right? You could go extract with hard drives. USB drive resort key entrance. And this is where we're going to see a lot of keys. Again, very similar to Tarkov, and resort obviously being a POI on Shoreline map. You have drilling safe, fortress entrance key, Smith's apartment key, resort office key, foreman's office key, produce market storage key, Hindia chopper, control room key, storage key, black site multi-key, and safe room 19 key. So that's pretty much all of the challenges and information regarding DMZ, which was released. Again, it sounds, especially with that key information, sounds exactly like Escape from Tarkov in a way. And obviously with the DMZ logo, which was just leaked this morning from Reality UK, it looks very, very similar to Escape from Tarkov with the blacked out city skyline. You have the big, bold DMZ letters behind it. And then we have a soldier in the background as well. So that's all of that. Now, if anybody played, I had a good discussion with Crash over on our episode from the podcast, which again, I'll link that clip down below, or at least to the channel. Very interesting, because if anybody played Realism Royale for Warzone, I know one discussion Crash and I had was about the movement system, right? Because if we have a very detailed Tarkov-esque game mode like this sounds like it's going to be, and you have the typical COD movement system, which is very twitchy and just kind of can take you out of the gameplay and remove that tactical element. There was also leaks early on. Now, again, who knows if these are going to be true, but there was leaks early on that for game modes like DMZ, the movement system would be scaled back, meaning you won't be able to do the amount of slide canceling, the movement speed will be reduced, things like that. So you won't have this super sprint, slide cancel 360 no-scope type gameplay within DMZ. And then we also saw Ralph's Valve released some information along gameplay mechanics a few weeks back, and one of those mechanics was the magazine check for ammo count. So the description for that he said was in limited HUD game modes, you would need to take out your mag and basically inspect it in order to know how much ammunition you had in your weapon. So again, that's straight out of Escape from Tarkov. There's a limited HUD in Tarkov, and to know what your round count is, there's not a HUD element there that shows you. You need to pull out your magazine, look at it, and get either the approximate account if you have a windowed magazine, or a rough account. It'll either be mostly full, half full, less than half full, or nearly empty, something along those lines, so you understand how much rounds or bullets you have left in that magazine. So you won't have this constant HUD element there showing you how much rounds you have. And then we also just covered the staged reloads the other day. Now this is also very similar. I think Tarkov uses staged reloads as well, but definitely in certain Sandstorm, if you cancel a reload, so if I'm reloading my weapon, I take the magazine out and then I need to switch to my pistol for whatever reason, when I switch back to my primary, there's not going to be a magazine of the weapon. There may be a bullet in the chamber, depending on if I emptied out all of my rounds, but there won't be a mag in the weapon. So I need to redo that reload animation. Essentially, obviously it's cut down because there's already a mag removed, so I would need to place a fresh mag in there and either close the bolt or recock it, depending on how many rounds were, if there was a round or not in the chamber. So a lot of realistic elements here. And again, if you played Realism Royale back in Warzone, I really love the way Realism Royale played, because there was no HUD. There was no minimap unless there was a UAV up. Even when you pulled up your TAC map, it didn't show vehicles. It didn't show different contracts, things like that. So you really were playing with field of view, what you could see on the map personally, and communication with your team. There's no HUD elements for how much ammo you had, in your weapon, anything like that. So it really slowed down the gameplay, I would say, a lot. And you had a completely different player base that played those realism royales and the realism modes in Modern Warfare multiplayer. So I think just in general, with no HUD, you're going to have a completely different type of crowd playing those games. I never ran into the twitchy gameplay sweats in realism multiplayer for Modern Warfare. And in realism royale, because there's no minimap, things like that, you could get away with no suppressors. And it was a lot of fun. You could just actually have fun with the game. There was no counter to show you how many teams were left, how many enemies were left. You couldn't see your kills, as well as you couldn't see where the circle was. Fireworks had to go up to show you where you needed to rotate into. And again, there was just a lot of reliance on what you could see and what you could hear. And it eliminated that sprint around, go crazy, chase dots on the minimap type thing. And that's just with the HUD removed. So obviously all the elements that we're talking about here, reduced movement, things like that, limited HUD for DMZ at least. If that does come true, this is going to be probably one of the greatest games, and I'm going to sink a lot of time into this. And again, the logo gives me a lot of hope here. It sounds and the logo looks just like Escape From Tarkov. So I'm very excited. Let me know what you guys think down below. Are you excited for DMZ? We keep getting a lot of information from this. I'm really excited whether it releases with the game or it comes later as a free-to-play element or later in a beta element for those who purchased it. My only concern is cheaters. I want them to do something so you just can't keep creating free accounts nonstop. I think if you get banned, you should need to pay X amount each time, and that should be an incremental fee each time you need to create a new account. That should be the barrier of entry. Should be free to play, or at least purchase the game, and then there should be a barrier of entry if you get hit by the anti-cheat and you need to make a new account. Something along those lines. That way, you don't have cheaters just remaking accounts left and right. So let me know what your thoughts are down below. This is Buffer Gaming with the latest DMZ information. DMZ is Tarkov. Till next time, Buffer Gaming out.